Well, guys, it is the end of another season, the end of the 2024-25 campaign, and it's been an alright season, but I'll explain more about that because today I will be sharing my personal thoughts on the season. Some you might agree with, some you might disagree with, but this is just my thoughts. You might have different thoughts, so write them down in the comments down below. But yeah, guys, let's get started. Let's get straight into this. So, as you guys all probably know, the end of last season, which didn't go very well, did it? We got relegated to League 2, and then the manager left, then the assistant manager left, the keepers left, then pretty much all the players left. There's like 5 players when Alan Maybury came in. 5 players. And that's all he had to work with. I think a few of them injured as well. So he had to sign 11 plus players for the bench and the team. He only had 5. So it was going to be a tough task for him. So we signed lots of youngsters, like Mackenzie Cars, James Graham, Aaron Weir, I think maybe Aaron Weir, Jamie Smith, etc. And that's all we had. That's Ali Roy as well. That's all we had. Well, we had more, but yeah. And then the season started a little bit bumpy. Had group stage, which the draw will be for next season, next Wednesday, group stage draw. So, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully get a good group this year for once, because last year's wasn't that great. But we'll talk about it in another video. It went up and down. I think we competed well with like Ross County and Raith Rovers and all that. Hamilton we competed very well with a 0-0 draw and a win in penalties. It was a wee bit positive. The only game that disappointed me was Stranraer. And then the league started. We won our first game against Edinburgh City 2-1. But then and this is our form to start the season. Win, loss, win, battered, win, a loss in the cup, and then a loss again in the league. So a very bumpy start to the season. It's like a roller coaster ride. And then we lost again. That was our first time in the league. We lost 2 games in a row, which was not that great. But then we bounced back with 3 wins in a row in the league. 2-0 against Stranraer, 2-1 against Forfar, and 3-1 against Clyde. Very positive results. We go 5 points clear in the playoffs. And then we get a 6-0 win in the cup against Bournemouth Athletic, although we should be getting results like that against these teams, no offence. And then we had tough fixtures coming up. East Fife, Peterhead. East Fife we drew 1-1 away, which was a really good result for us, especially what happened before that when we played them. And then Peterhead, I want to remind you guys in this, but we go 2-0 up, and then we lose 3-2. Of course we do, we're still in Albion, for goodness sake. But we did get a red card, apparently. Referee was an absolute cheat in that game, and that didn't help any of it. And then we have lots of injuries, and we lose, and that run just continued for 4 games, I think it was. Sorry about that, I just wanted to check something there. But yeah, very, very bad form when we slip out of the playoffs places, which is very disappointing. And then we win up at Elgin 4-2. Our first loss at home, which was a big shock for us. So we ended it unbeaten home run. We're going all positive into the Stranraer home game before Christmas. And we draw 1-1 and play absolutely terrible. And yeah, and then 4-2 each. Clyde 2-0 in the second half of the season. I think halfway through we're 5th, halfway through we're 5th. Not too bad, not too shabby, still in the very close to playoffs. And then the losers just keep coming. 2-0 to Clyde, 3-2 to Peterhead. And yeah. But then we do play really, really well in Peterhead after a few good signings. And then we beat Borden Grove 3-0 like we should. No offence, they got relegated a couple of days ago. Yesterday at the time I'm filming this, so I'm filming this on Sunday evening. So yeah, Easter break coming up, that'll be good, but I'll talk about that soon. And then we're on good form in that game. And then we lose to Ember City. The game we need to win to get back into the playoff race. And we lose it. And we also lose the other game that we need to win. It's the Spartans, which is very disappointing. And that was like, I actually started thinking about us getting relegated then. That's how bad we were. But then we won 3-1 against Elgin, out of absolutely nowhere. 3-1 against Forfar, kind of expected. They were bottom of the table at the time. We go all confident to the Stranraer game away. Again, it's Stranraer again. Well, I wasn't confident personally in that game. We lost 3-0. Out of absolutely nowhere. And I was just outraged by that. I wanted to find a word that wasn't too strong. But, yeah. We go back to winning ways, beat East Fife 1-0, which was a big shock. That was probably my favourite one in the season. Spartans we drew 0-0 with in the final quarter. I knew we weren't really going to get a big result there. I just thought a loss, honestly, but we still got a draw and a clean sheet. And then a very disappointing 1-1 draw against Borneo Groves away from home. But we have our whole team out pretty much then. Had to play what we started the season with. So yeah, it was very disappointing then. And then I was like, we're going to get spanked in these games the rest of the season. But we keep it close to Peterhead ahead. We lost 2-1 now. Last minute winner from them. And then we beat Ember City. Like, wow. I couldn't believe it, man. And then, yeah, we beat Elgin 2-0, which was one of our playoff rivals. And then we're right back in the playoff race. And it gets even better when we beat Stranraer 3-1 at home, after going 1-0 down. 2 points away from playoffs. And I thought we were going to get playoffs. We were all so excited. So the bus was full going to East Fife. It was full on the away end. And guess what happened? We lost 2-0. Yay. That's always just sarcastic. That was very disappointing. Yeah, wasn't very good, and then we're just out then. But the playoff race then just summed up our 4-1 loss to Clyde. Put us completely out of misery. But then we end the season nicely with a draw against Forfar. That was a good last day there. So yeah, that's all what happened during the season. Now actually it's time to share my thoughts. I thought we were very inconsistent. We beat the big teams, the small teams we slip up against, and that's what we need to find more. And we found that we were more at the end of the season, but consistency. That's what we needed to find, and we couldn't find it until the last 5 games of the season. So yeah. But with the squad we had at the start of the season with Alan, I'm really impressed with how they've performed. Some players who've never even played senior football before. Scott Boyle, for an example, he's playing at this level already at 16, guys. 16. Absolutely outstanding from him. He's doing so well. I think he'll be a very promising player one day. I think play at big clubs, maybe Real Madrid, but I don't see that. You never know, though. You never know. And then we can say, oh, he used to play for Stirling Albion. But enough of Blethren. But I think the young team has performed very, very well. And we managed to get a 6th place finish. Isn't too bad, mid-table. But yeah. But a few results were just like up and down. A few results that were really, really positive. And we almost skipped playoff. We missed playoffs by the skin of our teeth. Well, 8 points, but come on, let's just think of it that way. It came to the last 3 games of the season, and we're in a fight for promotion, which was really, really good to see with the squad we had. So, I'm really happy with it. Really, really happy this season. And we go again next season. So yeah. I think our midfield, though, was very, very weak this season. I don't think that was strong. It wasn't strong, actually, for a fact. Defensively, it was a little bit weak as well. A lot of the team was weak, but that's what we need, I think, this summer. Seeing the transfer need out, Gaston's gone. Very disappointed in that, actually. He has quite a good keeper. So, I've heard rumours of Blair Curry coming back though. So, you never know. We'll see what happens. And then, Harry Wright, he's funny as anything. And, was it Mackenzie Carrs who's signed any contracts with Stirling? Which I'm happy to see. So, yeah. I think the season went really well overall. So, yeah. Sorry there, I was just thinking about extra thoughts on the season. I thought of a few more. I think we've conceded some very silly goals, honestly. Some that should have been saved, some that we gave away in a very dangerous area. But I think we do know how to find it back in the net. We've gone forwards and we do know how to score. But it's just getting to that bit of the park without giving the ball away. And I think that's what we need to work on. Defence and our midfield. So I think we need to sign some experienced midfielders, maybe just experienced players in general. And then we'll be a very, very good team. Maybe one of the best in the league. But obviously money's tight. But there's been some silly places where put the ball, I just kicked it over the bar, just put it out the park and all that. It's very easy to save from the opposite keeper. But we can work on that. Our team's been very young. Some maybe not even played this level before. So I think the players should be very proud of what they've done this season because we finished in a decent spot in the league. Obviously, we didn't get playoffs. The aim was to try and stay up this season. People are saying 8th, 9th, just to avoid relegation. And we've done more than that. We've went for playoffs and promotion. But unfortunately, we didn't get there. But we finished 48 points, which is, I think, a very, very good amount of points to finish with. Almost making playoffs, didn't quite get there. Goal difference is a little bit low in the minuses, but it's not too bad. I think this season was just to avoid a drop, and next season I think we could do better. I think we can do very well next season. I say we could go for the title next season. That's what I'm saying. I think we'll get a playoff spot, honestly. I don't think we'll get there yet, but just to see what next season brings. So, sorry, got a little bit of a cold. Well, no, it's nothing. It's cold. It's hay fever. I'm sure some of you guys are going through that as well, but it's not nice, is it? But to start with the season, a few words. I'm going to say, with only 5 players at the start of the season, we've had to sign a lot of youngsters. So I think with all the youngsters we've had in the team, we've done very well to avoid the drop and finish where we are and go for playoffs, promotion playoffs. So, therefore, I think these players have a lot in them. They're going to be very positive players, and for Stirling, the actual club, I think we have done quite well this season with what we have. Especially with new staff, new managers, and all that. So yeah, I think we've done very well to finish where we have with these young players. And we go again next season. I want to talk about a wee bit next season, what I want us to do. I want us to sign some more experienced players. Yes, I do like youngsters in the team, but we need experienced players. That's it. We need a wee bit of experience, and we can teach them to be experienced players. Because some of them's not even played football in this level before. So, yeah, I think we need, especially midfield. Our midfield is very, very weak. So I think we need to sign some midfielders, a few defenders, maybe a few strikers as well. Just so we've got a strong team, and yeah. So the league's gonna be very competitive next year. It's like 8 teams who I think can win the league. I think everyone can obviously win the league, but 8 teams who I think is gonna be very, very good next season. And there's only 10 teams in the league, by the way. So it's gonna be super competitive next season, and yeah, got the likes of Aaron Dumbarton coming down from League One, and East Fife and Peterhead going up the way to League One. I want us to get revenge on Aaron for relegating us and putting us in the playoffs, and Dumbarton for relegating us in the playoffs, so we can beat them and hopefully beat them to a title or playoffs or something. That'd be funny. But I think we can get playoffs next season. I think we'll go for the title but miss out. But we'll get playoffs. But I'll say my predictions in a few months' time once a few of the cup games have started and the signings have started and a lot of signings have been made, and then I will make my predictions then. So yeah, I think this season has been very good with what we have. A few positive results, a few negative results, a few things we need to work on, but a lot of stuff are very positive. And by the way, Adam Brown got Player of the Year and Manager Player of the Year at Stirling, so well done to Adam Brown, congratulations. I know he was injured for a lot bit of the second half of the season, but Adam Brown, I'd probably agree, he's probably been the best player this season, scored the most goals, 11 goals he scored. He's very, very good winger, and he's a very, very good player as well. So I do hope he stays. So yeah, but clubs to be after him. He's been very good for us. So yeah. So yes, guys, thank you for watching. That's just my thoughts on the season, what I've thought on it. Please like and subscribe. Some of you might disagree with me, but I've tried my best to sum up as best as I can. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Peace, guys.